Fill her up.
You're listening to the Gas Digital Network.
What do you get when you mix two white boys, both named Mike? A thing for Justin Timberlake and a piercing above your eye. Was he high? Their stories alone could make you cry. That's when you want to make your Irish goodbye.
Whoa, you moved your chair up.
I did a little bit. I was slouching before I felt like buried.
Yeah.
You're Ted Lasso.
I'm moving mine
I just
up.
figured it out.
People have. I got that. It was a fun one. I like that. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Irish Goodbye Podcast, Storytelling Podcast. I'm Mike Ted Lasso Feeney, being joined with me as always
By Mike. I forgot the Indian kid's name.
Osama bin Laden Cannon.
Osama bin Laden Cannon. I mean, if anybody follows me on social media, which if you listen to the show and don't, hurtful, but which there are, every once in a while I'll check to see if a certain commenter on our Irish Goodbye page also follows both of us. Sometimes it's one or the other. It hurts.
Really?
Yeah, it hurts.
So wait, you go to their profile then, but are most of them private?
Yeah, but it says follow back.
Oh, okay.
You know.
But how would you know if they're following me?
How did I figure that out? Well, the public ones then. It
Right,
must have been.
yeah.
I don't know. There's a level to this psychosis.
But then you go to their
obviously,
you
it's
go to
not
their
foolproof.
profile, you go to their profile, you go to their followers, and you type in @IM.
That's right.
And then you just see what @IM prompts, or you start going @IM Mike could really get you there.
@IM Mike
It'll
is
get
really,
you
yeah,
there.
my thumbs can move that fast, so it's not much of a difference.
At this point, you're like 10 minutes invested into this.
10 minutes into this hate of this person I've never met
at
that
best
said
case,
something nice about you on our show.
Or the best case scenario, if they were there, you'd be like, all right.
Yes.
Like, it's not even like, oh, great.
There's never a celebration. It's always a, you better have, like I'm tough talking.
You're living your
wall.
better have life.
Yeah.
Wow. I need to tell a quick story about a follow-up, because I realized which I think was something we might have done, and this is a testament to our audience. I teased telling about a track story in last week's episode.
Yeah.
In the very beginning of the episode, never got around to it, totally forgot about it.
Well, I guess we all know that you're the new coach of Michigan State track.
I just want to have a Dunkin' Donuts coffee cup to keep being like, all right, there, let's move that ball around, huh? Let's
You
move
don't
the
even
ball.
sip, you just actually go
Yeah.
you're just spitting back into it.
But that also is a testament to our audience, because nobody was like,
one.
what happened?
Yeah. At this point,
I don't even want to tell it now.
I think those are like little Easter eggs for some of the people that are really invested in the show.
It's like people who watch the show Lost, where they go, well, it's too many questions were raised, not enough were answered, but I'm happy with, at least I got some of the things I was looking for.
At least we got a lot of close-ups with fast violin.
Yeah. So, fuck it. All right, let's tell something else. What are you?
What am I? That's a great question, man. I've been wondering the same. I've been traveling through the space-time continuum, just trying to figure out and get closer to me and who I am.
Okay.
Just extinguish the anger, you know?
I had all right, I guess I'll say something else that while you fold in on yourself introspectively.
I'm not even folding in. I'm just saying that I'm making a conscious decision to be a better me.
Okay, great.
Yeah, less angry, less reactive.
Oh, looking
very
less
reactive.
reactive. Well, please be more reactive on the podcast, because I need this. But
Well, I mean, I'll always be on the podcast. It's just something I can't escape. You bring the worst out of me.
some say the best. I don't know. Is Anakin Skywalker, was he a bad guy? Maybe, but did the dark side not bring out his best? This is a good of a reference, and how sure I am in lockstep I am with that. I haven't even seen Star Wars. I haven't seen any of the Star Wars.
It's perfect. It's perfect, because as soon as he went to the dark side, he was a way more powerful Jedi.
Best version of
just
himself.
mowing down kids with a fucking lightsaber and having he just made business decisions.
Yeah.
And me, I'm at my best when I'm screaming about something. The TV even went out when I said that.
I wish that was the stream because I didn't think you saw that. I was just going to think about that for the next while we continue doing a podcast.
I controlled that with my rage. Can I give a brief rage thing?
Oh.
This is a nice little lead-in that I didn't even anticipate.
Rage.
So I have road rage, but not in the sense where I'm like driving fast and cutting people off or anything like that. I'm of the mind that like I can say anything about anybody in that space because I'm enclosed. It's a victimless crime.
Right.
I get physical deformities, racial, social, everything is on the table. It's basically like jerking off. You're doing it so you don't go out and hurt somebody. You know? And
Is that why you jerk off?
Yeah.
So you don't hurt somebody? Wait a minute. I agreed. I was like, yeah, of course. And then I thought about it for even a second.
I mean, I think it's pretty foolproof. You feel less aggressive, don't you? You feel
I
less
understand your process, but I didn't.
I'm just closer to murder when I've got a full gun.
I guess I can. Stop saying gun because that part can be clipped. And I'm closer to murder when I have a full gun. There's your gun rights ad right there.
That's G Mike's next reels with me just in an army helmet and gunfire around me. So I'm in the car and Crew is of the age now where he's like repeating everything. You know, my father-in-law the other day was like, shit about something, and Crew's like, shit. Like instantly, and
that's
it's like
God, it's like Meet the Fockers.
Yes, and it's
asshole,
and it's so difficult not to laugh because that was unreal. It was so close to the movie. Pull that up on the movie, and then we'll bring it back. But so he's a sponge with shit. So I'm trying not to be me. I'm trying to not speak the way I speak, but there's no ramifications.
In truth bombs?
Yeah. I just I'm too edgy for my son. But it's just that thing where none of my speech is regulated ever. You know what I mean? I do the podcast, I do comedy, my friends are comedians or animals, so I never have to really curtail my speech, or at least up until this point, for any reason.
Right.
And so now I'm in the car.
It becomes a point of pride.
It is a point of pride. I mean, I've really found exactly how I speak, which is eloquent filth. That's how I'd sum myself up. You didn't really buy that, and I thought it was going to be like and I was going to feel good about myself.
Here's the thing. Let me tell you how hard I bought that. I bought that so hard that it made me annoyed because I felt like you'd been workshopping that for a while, and we're trying to find a way and a place and a time and place to say it, and I know you didn't just come up with it in your head, and it's fucking infuriating. Because that's like a brand. You're gonna be like next album.
My brand.
See,
I've been be your next album.
But it's infuriating that it was one of those things you've been workshopping, and you're like, here comes the tease.
It's my Sufi. I've actually brought a lot of people over into my garage and thrown it at them to see what their reaction is. It's been overwhelmingly positive.
I mean, it's perfect.
Like
it is perfect, but it's just.
So I'm trying not to curse and be so insane around my son, but I'm also in this space where sometimes, especially because so many people don't know how to fucking drive.
Yes.
Just basic skills are so few and far between. It's almost like I almost wish there was a way when I see somebody able to drive that I could crash into their car, stop them on the street, and hug them for their skill. You know what I mean? Like,
they're in becoming the very person you hate.
Yeah, but then we'd both have, it would transform back into regular cars, and neither of us would be hurt. So, what's happening with you guys?
Nothing.
You're just. He keeps looking at me.
Give me a pen. I want a pen. Is what I want.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have a logo in mind for Eloquent Filth?
Yeah. I'm drawing a T-shirt. I just don't want to be on my phone, but I want to be able to write stuff down,
Okay.
To remember.
So I don't even know where I was, but whatever. I'm in Rockland. I'm driving in one of these heavily populated areas of people that can't fucking drive, and somebody's, smearing their car all over the road.
Smearing. Like peanut butter.
And I'm
all over the road.
expertly avoiding them
Yeah.
at every turn. They're braking. I'm moving around. It's the whole thing. And I just said something in a low voice because Crew's in the car and he's like, baka yelling about something. And I just said something in such a monotone voice. And Nicole's like, what's your problem? Like,
Right.
he's in the car. Like, you can't talk like that. I was like, what are you talking about? And she's like, I didn't curse. She's like, you just said you wanted to lop the head off of that fat person. She's like, you can't.
Do you remember saying?
No, I don't remember it. I remember feeling it.
Yeah.
But I didn't feel my lips move. I didn't hear the song
That's
of my
like
voice.
a big issue.
I just said it. And I was like, that's TV clean. Like,
Yeah. By the books. I mean, technically, I've done nothing wrong.
so I got to get that in order.
Yeah.
For sure.
I guess so.
Yeah.
I keep having this thing, too, where so Eric always goes to bed before me, and I try to not wake her up. My only goal is to not wake her up when I go into bed. But there's so much that I have to do that is just loud sequences. You know what I mean? Where it's like she'll sleep with like some of the curtain open for a while, so then to close it, just like a metal on metal grinding sound.
Dude, is there anything worse than doing a great job and peeling off your pants and then the belt just clanging on the hardwood floor?
That happens every night, and
Every
some
time.
version of that where I'll like put a final T-shirt on a pile of clothes and they'll all fall over, and it'll land on a group of pennies or something that just goes spilling across. And so I'm just trying to be quiet.
Standing dominoes.
Yeah, just wind chimes that I had loose fell. So it's and I get so mad every time. I've even talked about this on the podcast, I think, where I'll wake her up, or I'll make a noise that I know is loud enough to wake her up, and I want to let her know that I'm not doing it intentionally and that I'm more mad at myself than she could be at me. So
This is the telltale of a long-term relationship, though, is the idea that somebody thinks you're doing it intentionally.
or just but not being, you know what I mean? Not being as quiet as they can.
I know,
Yeah.
but it's so funny because it is that long-term thing when sometimes with some things you're just adversaries.
Yeah.
So when you wake up, you're like, what?
Yeah.
Did you woke me up at me?
So what I do is I end up saying, or either doing like a loud, exasperated sigh, or I'll even get mad or like mumble something, just so that in case she wakes up, like, what the fuck are you doing? She'll know. But I think it's the me going like, God damn it. Like that is what wakes her up.
That cuts through the night.
It's what wakes
that sharp breath.
So I do that last night. And now I've closed the blind, so I was like, so she wakes up from like a deep sleep, but she's not in REM, but she's still asleep.
Yeah.
And then
She's between planes.
I knock over something and I go, damn it. And she wakes up in her sleep. And this is also a fun thing that I realized everyone who ever is scared, woken up says when they think of burglars in the place. She goes, hello? She just says, hello. Well, you're like, best case scenario, it is a murderer, and they're going to be like, oh, hi, and then come running at you. Why say hello?
I've gotten into bed and Nicole goes, Mike? I'm like, what?
Dude, that's exactly hello? She sat straight up, and here's the thing. She even tried to take her cell phone light out to see what was going on, but she was on the corner of the bed, and she was like, hello? And it went flying and fell off the bed.
I mean, did you choreograph that pratfall? Because not only was it perfect and in frame and then out,
Was it
but
in frame?
It landed with that back thing as a springboard, so none of the phone was hurt whatsoever. I've never seen anything like that.
That's why you guys got to watch us on our YouTube if you're
Yeah.
not, or on Gas Digital, right? We got people.
No, we're
that
on
shit.
Irish Goodbye Podcast YouTube.
That's what I mean.
You said Gas Digital.
Oh, but I'm or Gas Digital.
Oh, right. Do they play us
The
on
network.
the regular?
We're
What?
also
Do we
on
play us?
Gas Digital Network. For sure.
I wasn't sure what. No, I thought he was saying Gas Digital YouTube.
YouTube.
Yeah.
No, I was referring to the network we're on.
But Gas Digital plays us?
Alex has become a real company man.
She is a company bitch, and it really bothers me. It's so much so, that if we were to like leave and try to, feed her under the table, she'd have no interest.
If we Michael Scott Dwight Schruted her, she would go tell Charles Minor.
100%.
That's Lewis.
That is Lewis. He's a minor. Artie.
What?
Minority.
Oh, God, did you save it? So and it's something about this mustache just makes me want to call people Buttercup. All right, there, Buttercup.
Can I give you an Irish goodbye mystery?
Yes, if I could have more water and we can make it significantly colder in here.
I'm 70, sweating but freezing.
It's 70 and humid in here.
I like it. I like it.
G Mike just went like this, to his face.
It's like a thick soup walking in here.
Yeah. All right. So, lay that mystery on me, baby.
So the other day, I think Nicole was doing a wedding or something like that, and I'm with crew all day. And at some point, we're walking in the driveway. Me and crew throw rocks in the stream and shit like that. And then we're coming back, and Mario, Nicole's father, my father-in-law, or her stepdad, he goes, "Come here, come back down when you put him in for a nap." And I'm like, "Okay." And so I put him up for a nap, all that stuff. I come back down, and he's like, "What's that right there? What do you see?" And it's like on the driveway, and it was just a box in a plastic bag.
Okay.
And I'm like, "Oh, it's just a box." And he's like,
in a plastic bag.
In a plastic bag. And he's like, "What does it say?" And I was like, "It says perishable." And he goes, "Somebody wrote perishable on it with black marker." And he's like, "Look in there." And I'm like, "Okay." And I look in, and it's a dead squirrel.
What?
Somebody killed or found a dead squirrel and then hung it up on the mailbox of the house.
Like, so, in what way was it dead? Was it like shot, stabbed? Like, was it bloodied, or was it just like had a heart attack?
I just looked in and saw like a bent up squirrel. And I saw.
I'm laughing thinking about a squirrel having a heart attack. Where's my nuts?
It's almost winter.
I knew I shouldn't have taken them out of my mouth.
So I don't know.
Wow, that's horrifying.
I think in my head I saw red, but I can't prove it. You know what I mean? So it wasn't full Gwyneth's head in the box.
And why did Mario like sick you on that task?
Well, because he goes, "So this was," and he goes, "Fucked up, right?" And I'm like,
I love that man. I will not be in trauma alone. I respect it. I would do the same thing. A man after my own heart.
And I'm like, yeah. I was like, what?
Right?
I was
now
like,
he goes like this. Hey, Mike, now watch this. Hey, crew, what's in that box over there?
What's in the box? Yeah. So I'm like, yeah, dude. What do you? He's like, it was hanging from the mailbox. Somebody put it in there. He's like, and then he starts explaining like what they had to do this. He's like, this is very intentional. Like somebody put this in the box, sealed it. It was sealed entirely with tape. There were no holes, no nothing like that. Like this wasn't a mistake. It was labeled perishable with a black Sharpie. Like it was hung on he's like, somebody did this. And we don't know who the fuck it is. And then so they start like contacting the neighbors, telling them, asking them if they've seen anything. And all of them have rings, everybody, it's like suburban, like this is everybody's wet dream. We have something to do.
Oh, yeah.
There's a mystery, there's a detective
neighborhood
thing.
Watch.
Oh, it's unreal. Mario's like spinning off the planet like this is probably PETA. They were coming to get me because I'm a hunter. I'm like, they murdered an animal?
Yeah.
You not to murder
They're like,
animal?
you have no idea how much this hurts us, and it's going to hurt you even more.
We ate the squirrel. No, I'm kidding. But there's like ring footage, and I saw footage of some person in a fucking like Nissan Sentra or Altima, black one, park on the opposite side of the street where the mailbox is, come out, they're kind of like, a little weeble wobbly, a little fat, and had a full mask on, the like Corona mask, and then hung it up right on the thing and then got back into the car. So it's...
What time of day?
Like dusk to night.
Wow.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah. So right now, There's a true detective-like character coming after me and my family, and I am sleeping with an AR under my pillow.
Oh, my God. When did this happen?
Like 3 days ago.
Wow.
Yeah, 4 days ago.
And so you have no leads.
That actually
No leads.
feels like genuinely like the move of a future serial killer.
Yeah, it's
Like-
kind of that's his calling card.
Well, that's the thing.
Like, you
so
guys
there's
gotta
some
get out of
First
there.
move. is to, like,
No, please.
Ew.
They are in for a world of hurt if things get a little more serious. A world of hurt. I have been
I don't
waiting
know,
for
man.
this. I've been
This-
waiting for this.
This seems like
Dead
a
squirrel?
movie.
I'll put
yeah,
it.
but
I'll
a
put their
movie, a
fucking,
dead squirrel's like
I'll put their
it's-
dog in the back seat of their car,
If you know who they are, but if you don't, who
and
are you
I'll
gonna
find it. It's a fan.
It's a fan,
I bet it is.
or maybe someone you've wronged and then talked about wronging on the podcast.
Yeah, but I
from
didn't
up in your
recognize the
old
body.
day. What about the car? No license plate.
No, nobody got a license. But now everybody's on the lookout. So,
Oh,
what is this about serial killers?
early warning signs.
Okay,
start
young.
young.
Well, that's the thing. So there's always like beef between neighbors and stuff like that. You know, somebody's tree is on their property, all that shit. So they were like, oh, maybe it's that. And I'm like, if it is that, then that's kind of a bigger problem.
Yeah.
Because if it's a neighbor that's literally sending you dead animals over some like bullshit ass tree, beef, it's like, then we gotta take care of this. Like, we should go into their house and kill them.
Yeah, I would be on the lookout for that car. I would just drive around the neighborhood looking. But there's also
What do you think I've been doing, buddy?
But it's also one of the most popular car, a black Nissan Altima.
Yeah, but I don't care. I'll smash out the windows of every single one I see.
Damn, not even one letter on the license plate, huh?
Not even one.
God damn.
Yep.
That's brutal.
So if you have any information out there, let me know.
yeah, if you're doing it,
yeah. Stop, you fucking weirdo.
but like do at least one more thing so we know for the podcast. It could be
But
like
a fun one? Like
yeah.
maybe not a dead animal you probably found
What
on
did
the
you do
road?
with the box and the animal?
Oh, I don't know. That's Mario's business. I'm not touching that. I'm sure he keeps it. Kept it? I'm sure he kept it. Thanks for finding that the funniest thing I've
So
ever
I get
said.
to
Mike.
host.
Sometimes I misspeak.
Oh, where's my sound? We got to get a soundboard out here. They have Alex and every other podcast on the network has this.
That's not true. Only Lewis and Bye Guys. At request they have it, but now at request you guys are going to have it next week.
All right. I like it. I like the idea. That could actually be very fun.
I'll find some good drops for us.
Yes, there we go. Now we're cooking. All right, I'm back. Yeah, I don't know. I have a thing that we also have a story here that we are going to eventually read from and this time we printed it out. We've been teasing that for 3 weeks too, but we got it, and it's actually
Who wrote this? Sent from my iPhone.
Yeah. I guess we could also just do it now if you want, but I figured that would be a back half situation.
Yeah, that's a back
'cause there's
half.
lot. But that is I'm still on the squirrel thing.
Yeah, it's pretty
Alex, do
troubling.
you have any questions?
I mean, I do. Like, do you guys have any enemies? Like
Mario's got to have a lot of enemies.
But he's not really high profile at all. Like, he keeps to himself. He stays on the property. He just does work.
Perishable
Also,
is a weird.
Can you see the car in the background of this video? Like, can you tell whether he's alone or whether it's like kids pranking or whether this
So
is just one
it's an
solitary
adult.
creepy dude?
It's one person, and it's not certain that it's a male. It's kind of androgynous, and it's a bit pear-shaped, but it could be both male or female.
Huh.
Yeah.
Can you send us the footage next week?
Yeah, let's air the footage, dude.
I'll just post it on IG, Instagram.
Yeah, do that.
Has anybody
Post
seen
it on
this
your
person?
neighborhood's Facebook page. And like,
I don't want a fucking part of that place. That is where
But they'll go
that's
after
where
him.
you really get involved in the community, and I frankly do not want that.
have one of Nicole's family members do it.
I've just cracked the case.
Sagalo?
It was Mario. Only Mario has the strength and the raw, emotionless ability to snap a squirrel's neck without any sort of issue. But to wrap it up in a parasite, gets off to the sick jokes of making guys disturbed like yourself. Gives you a reason to have to hang out with him more and reunite, and he can teach you more about guns, which you'll now want to learn even more
Yeah.
about. And it's a bonding experience to do that. Oh man, that's it.
Dude, he's so funny. Like, he's full grandpa now with Crew because Crew can do so much shit. And so he's like fully hands-on. And yesterday we're talking about Crew growing and like being able to grip the bat and his hand size. And he's like, let me see your hands. And I'm like, all right. He's like, and I'm like, yeah, they're not really big. He's like, no. I'm like, yeah, and he's like, what? Whoa, what's that? And I go, oh, one of my thumbs.
What's that?
Smaller than the other, and he's like, oh. Wait, what? And I show him, and I like make the joke. I'm like, yeah, I got one of my thumbs is a toe, and he's like, oh, he goes, let me see the back of
Literally
it.
your worst nightmare.
Yeah, he's like, what's the back of it look
your
like?
biggest insecurity.
It's like, it curves, and there's like a hood of skin, and I'm like, dude, what the fuck is that? He's like, and then just walked away and left. We were having fun.
Of skin.
Me, crew, and him were hanging for like an hour. That was the end of it.
Also, he's known you your whole life. How is
never looked at me.
this? He's like, Mike, you're gray. Ew, gross. I'm not even gray.
Yeah, he's not. He's in better shape. It's infuriating. And he makes that, he's like, every time I ride the Peloton, he walks by the room and he's like, okay.
Well, you are going, I am a queen as you're pedaling stuff.
Dude, he got mulch at his house, and he's like, for no reason, he's 62, but for no reason whatsoever, he's filling trash cans with this mulch and just carrying it over his back and dumping it at various points in the yard. And he's like, yeah, I don't need this Peloton bullshit. He's like, so I'm a fucking steel pipe, dude. I carried 300 bales today. And I'm like, that's insane. But also, I just watched you cough up molasses.
Yeah.
Like you're sucking down 3 packs, bud.
Yeah, you're going to be in a wheelchair.
We're
in
both
3
at a
years.
disadvantage here.
Yeah. I don't even know how much of a story it is, but a nice time, that I had on Saturday. It was a 3-spot weekend night in New York City.
Nice.
Which feels great to have those again.
The best.
And the first one, I had to do New York, the East Side, the Gramercy, then go up to Stand Up New York, then come back down to East Village, New York Comedy Club. So it was great. The first show, awesome. So I come in, and they're like, do you actually want to go up a little early? And I was like, that would be great. Oh, sorry. Yeah, they asked me if I can go up a little bit early. I go, great. Because the next spot, now it gives me more time to get Stand Up New York. So I go on stage earlier. Great show. Awesome. Sold out, which I think all of these shows essentially are now, but it's so good. So it was sold out show. It felt great. Go over to Stand Up New York and found a spot so easily, so quickly that I was then not even in any rush at all. So I'm like, you know what? I have time. I have like 35 minutes on my spot. I'm going to go and go get like some ice cream, the Emac
and Folios.
Yeah.
God, I was going to say that for the last like 5 seconds as you were saying. I was like, I was excited that this is where it's going.
And so I go over there.
Let's get ice cream after this.
Okay.
I haven't eaten yet today.
So I go over there, and of course, because of COVID, the line is like 45 people long. Out the door, down to the corner, and I'm like, nope. But I remember insomnia next block. So I go over there, get myself a couple cookies, and then I just stroll over, and I'm going to go back to my car. I'm like, I'll listen to my last set. I have this much time now. So I go, I have all this time to do it, and I go, I'm walking past Stand Up New York. Francis Ellis is supposed to be there. Ryan Long's on the show. A couple other people on the show that I know, and I'm like, it'll be good to see them. So maybe I'll just go pop in and see if they're there now, because people needed to go earlier and stuff like that. I walk in, like, eating a cookie, wrapping up the foil, throw it over my head, and they're like, can you go on right now? And I'm like, what? And they go, they go, Francis isn't here. Ryan isn't here. There was another person. Nobody was there. I was supposed to be like 4th on the lineup, and the host is just on stage, just soft shoeing the entire, just waiting for someone to come in. Meanwhile, I was like, I wasn't even about to come in here, but all of a sudden it became a thing where I go, okay, and then I take off the coat, I go right on stage. I like so hot of a crowd that it made me angry. It felt like insulting. Like it was like
they're lying to you.
Yeah, like it was like a bringer show, but everyone I brought, like that's what they were laughing way too hard at setups, and I'm going, guys, come on, you can have a little respect for
yourself. You were
yourself.
just mad that you didn't have your camera on.
Yeah, well, of course I was that.
That's a clip set.
But yeah, so they were so great, and that was sold out too. So I walk off stage, and just the exact opposite night as me. Francis comes like running in, hands on his knees, heaving. He's like, I've been traveling for the last 3.5 hours. And he's like, to get here, he said he had to take 2 trains, a plane, an automobile, and and a scooter. And then like everything kept shutting down, and he was stuck in between cars and the subway underground for a while. He's trying to rush up. He's like, I have to go do another show down in this that I should already be on my way to, that I'm probably going to miss because now, the whole show is behind. And I'm like, oh, he's like, how was your night? I'm like, I strolled in, found a spot right right away, came here early, had a cookie. I had cookie time to spare.
And then just walked in and crushed.
Yeah.
Crushed.
Had a great set. They
Yeah.
probably won't be this good for that long, but they were great for me.
I think I actually maybe wrung them out.
Yeah, and then I go down to New York, and then you were there, and we both had, and that show was great too.
What show was that?
East Village.
Oh, yeah. That was fun.
Yeah. So it was like 3 great shows. It was
Was
great.
that Saturday?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't remember that.
You were there.
I was there. Was that my night? I forget which night this was, but I had like
Todd was there.
Todd was there.
Todd
Yeah.
Barrett.
Okay. Yeah, that was a really fun crowd. They've been
Yeah.
great at New York Comedy Club.
Yeah. Stand Up New York too has been sold out.
I haven't been up there
I've only
yet,
done it
but-
twice, but it was great.
Nice. I had one of those nights also where like it ended at the Cellar, which is always great because they have the best food and
Yeah.
it's just like you could hang and sit and like socialize and shit like that. And I was there and I've like the Olive Tree Cafe has been the most difficult room for me so far for whatever reason. It just
Not for whatever reason.
for whatever reason. I mean, there is
It's a restaurant.
Yeah,
the other
it's a
places
restaurant.
are comedy clubs.
It's not. Yeah, it's not built for comedy.
Yeah.
It is. It's been shaped.
Repurposed.
It's been
Yeah.
repurposed and shaped in the form of a comedy club. And I've had good experiences there since. But like the first time I was there, I like had one of those sets where I genuinely was like, I don't know what I'm doing, and it looks like you don't either.
Right.
Like everybody consuming me looks like they can't believe like the audacity that I'm.
How dare you?
Yeah, they're like comedy. Like why now?
I'm
When?
eating.
Yeah, exactly. So then this was one of those where I came back, I did that room, and then I did McDougal as well, and it was just a fucking great night. Both shows were awesome, and I hung outside with Nimesh, Che, Rosebud was there, and a bunch of people right in that sidewalk area, and it was just like, it's just nice to be outside in a really beautiful night in New York and just hanging with your, with your friends that you haven't seen in a really long time. And I left to do the second set. Came back, and as I'm walking back, Sherrod's there. He's yelling at me, and out of nowhere, like the sound of machine guns erupts, like, and literally everybody ducks. Everybody throws their body down and ducks down. I got on like the pavement, and Sherrod was standing like licking a blunt. He goes, "Fireworks!" Just before anybody could like react or whatever. And it was like, it was kind of muddled, but then like a few sputtered and went off. And we were like, yeah. And I'm like, that's just from your childhood?
Yeah.
Like your childhood was that chaotic where you knew exactly between gunfire and fireworks and you just in that split second just chose not to react. That's insane. He's like, I know exactly the caliber of the firework.
Well, not to mention the fact that there was a person executed on McDougal Street, very close to the Cellar, last week.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even think of that.
They pulled up, shot them directly in the head, like American Gangster style, or in the back or something like that, and then walked away.
It's kind of amazing that
And
people
got
can
away,
still
I
get
think.
away with that.
Yeah.
Like, how's that possible?
Well, now with masks, it's got to be way easier.
Yeah, I guess so.
Can't identify people as
It's
well.
a government conspiracy.
If you killed somebody on camera, what would you change about yourself to try to make it look different?
I'd dye my hair jet black and grow it long, I guess.
Oh, grow long, yeah.
Maybe go full. I don't know if I guess I'd be better with a long beard, but maybe a full shave face.
Clean shaven would be more dramatic.
Clean shaven would be more dramatic,
Yeah.
and plus my face is so white and jawlineless that I don't know if you could actually discern the details.
Right.
I just kind of look like a thumb face.
Alex, what would you do?
I think I would go full dude because I think I could like suppress my little boobs.
Yeah.
And I think if I like cut my hair,
Yeah.
I could wear like hats and stuff. I could
Yeah,
probably
you could just be
pass.
Alex.
Yeah.
You could 100% pass for a Williamsburg man.
Yeah, I think that would be the move.
Yeah. I would grow a mustache.
Caught ya. Caught ya. G. Mike, what would you do? You just go down in a hail of gunfire.
To disguise myself? I would do the classic ball cap, sunglasses, and walk away with your head down.
Ball cap, sunglasses, the old ending of The Town.
Yeah, but you got to do something more dramatic because you need to last. You need to every day if they're looking for you.
I thought I was just.
Yeah,
trying
when
to
you
get
kill
away.
someone, they'll keep looking.
Oh,
Yeah,
you know what
they'll-
I would do? I know exactly what I would do. I wouldn't dye my hair. I would shave it with a bic.
Shave your
Shave
eyebrows.
my face. Shaving
your
my
eyebrows.
would be crazy. I'd look like white Charlie Villanueva. God, that's so good for somebody. For somebody.
I know. I bet.
None of you two fucking dorks?
Sorry.
We couldn't even repeat what you said.
I was just thinking about adding to my eyebrows. Like, eyebrow work, I think, is important. Like,
period.
Because I think that it's a very recognizable like part of your face because you express yourself through eyebrows.
Yeah.
So the more you change your eyebrows, probably the more likely you are to get off.
Maybe I'd
Remember when
the
Brendan
gap.
dyed his eyebrows
Oh
and
my
they were
God.
like, he always looked like he was mad?
Yeah, he's the dad from American Pie.
He's like Uncle Leo from Seinfeld. He threw him in.
Yeah, he looked like an 80-year-old woman with tatted on brows.
I've been browsing these 5-star reviews that we have on iTunes. Thank you. And boy, do I love them. There's just so many of them. Why don't we pick a winner for a T-shirt?
Yeah.
To give away a T-shirt.
Let's do
Pull
it.
up the reviews. Guys, if you leave us a 5-star review, guys and gals, if you leave us a 5-star review, we will randomly, occasionally pick out somebody to give a free T-shirt to. And then, so if we pick your name out, go to email us at irishgoodbyepodcast@gmail.com with proof. And we'll send you a tee. But we want to thank everybody for doing that. Keep sharing the show. Tell people about it. You can sign up for gasdigitalnetwork.com using the promo code IGP. That way it gets us some money, gets you access to all of our other shows. We have over 200 bonus content, all the other podcast network shows, and their bonus content, and their other thing. It's great. There's so many of it. It's totally worth it. Give it a try. You get a 7-day free trial when you sign up, so use again IGP, and it also gives you a discount to podcast merch. Look at that.
Yeah.
Podcast merch. We got T-shirts. We got hoodies. We got everything. If you're a Gas Digital Network subscriber, you get a discount to it. If not, pay full price. Who cares? They're soft as shit and totally
right.
worth it.
Soon to be there, Eloquent Filth, the T-shirt.
Yeah. Written in script. Do you have the reviews?
Oh, that's fun. A script Eloquent, and then the filth is written with shit.
But it's got like the cum dripping from it. Hit us.
What? Oh, what do I do?
Review.
Do you want to pick it?
Yeah. I'll scroll. You scroll, and then I'll just smash.
Okay. It's a Mike. Oh, this is Slyons89.
Slyons.
February 8th.
Was it a 5-star review?
2021. It was a 5-star review. It's a Mike and another Mike, and I like.
All right.
So Slyons89, hit us up.
You get it.
You get a motherfucking shirt.
You get
Eloquent Filth.
It's that easy, folks. and we scroll back, so you don't have to. If you've given one in the past, you're always eligible and in the running. Hell, you might win again. So
Yeah.
Hit up.
We've had a repeat winner.
Did we?
No.
No. Alex?
Email us at irishgoodbyepodcast@gmail.com.
Hell yeah.
You are Slyons89.
Or if you have a story, like the one we're about to get into, from a podcast listener. So thank you for sending this. I think.
Hold on. At I am Mike Cannon, Mike Cannon Comedy.
Oh, we didn't do any plugs.
We didn't do any of them. Mike Cannon Comedy on YouTube. I just put the hoops workout from the episode from 222 that I talked about. That's up on the YouTube. I got another one coming. I'm about to film a heads-up poker match with one Robert Kelly. That's going to be super fun. That'll be up on the YouTube. And first, it'll be up on our Patreon at patreon.com/scenariopod. Me, Sagalo, and Feeney share the Patreon together. We do a bonus couple episodes of podcasts every single week. Feeney and Sags put their sketches up there early all the time, and we're just pumping content into there. So if you haven't gotten enough from subscribing to Gas Digital, head on over to Patreon as well. And I got dates coming. Uncle Vinny's next month, I think the 14th through 16th, and Point Pleasant, and then Laugh It Up in June, and more are coming in as we go. So
Yeah, I have Back East Brewery this Saturday, May 1st, if you're listening live. If not, you missed it, and it was a great time. And other dates coming in, again, MikeFeeneyComedy.com. I have a lot of city shows coming up, so just check my Instagram stories. It's where I put up where I ever am that night. And, go watch my special Rage Against the Routine on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/MikeFeeneyComedy, at I am Mike Feeney. You will know all this. You know this already. And, Alex, what about you?
You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at I am Alex Scar, and check out my podcast with Kim Congdon called Broad Topics, TOPIX. It's right here on gasdigitalnetwork.com/live every Thursday at 9:30 p.m. Or you could catch it for free on iTunes and YouTube every Monday. Sorry about that.
Has that just been on me on my phone the whole time?
I switched it to me, then I tried to play my lower third, and it switched back to you. I don't know what happened. Anyways, yeah.
Killer job.
Hi, I'm G Mike across all platforms, and follow Irish Goodbye on the social medias. Irish Goodbye Podcast on Instagram and Irish Goodbye Pod on Twitter.
That's right. And Mike, you did write down the idea for that T-shirt, right?
It is, yes.
Excellent.
It's happening.
Excellent.
So we got a story, like as we mentioned, from a listener. We love to have these every once in a while. This is fun. So I'm reading this for the first time.
Me too.
And we know who it's from, but they said, I think specifically, they signed it "Wife who needs to keep names confidential." So I guess thank you very much for sending it.
Yeah.
So let's do it. Hello, fellas. So I have a story to tell. Since you two are married men, I thought you'd give good advice.
My husband is a groomsman in a wedding for his friend, and he just got back from the bachelor party weekend. One of the nights was the fun let loose kind of night for all. They drank and enjoyed hanging with the boys.
At the end of the night...
That was in quotes, though. That's important to say, so I don't know what that means.
Hanging
Strippers?
with the boys.
Does that mean strippers?
No, I think they might just mean hanging with the boys.
Oh, okay, just wrestling.
Well, that's at least what he said.
Just getting drunk and wrestling?
Yeah, yeah. Just a feats of strength. At the end of the night, they called for the Uber and the group started to leave. My husband was one of the last to walk out and noticed the groom was not with them, so he went back in to look for him.
He scanned the place and found him in the corner, sitting in a chair with a woman on top of him, making out with her.
Oh.
My husband marched over there. I love how he told you this story.
Yeah.
Grabbed his collar and pulled him out and said, "Let's go."
I really was hoping that would end. My husband marched over there and joined in.
Yeah, and double penetrated that woman in a public bar.
The groom was very drunk and loves his fiancée very much. We don't think this was intentional. Everyone in the bar knew he was the groom because the DJ announced it in the bar.
Oof, that is a tough one, man. You just go there as a bachelor celebrating your thing, and then you're the dipshit making out with someone. My husband and the groom have not talked about it, but he knows that he knows kind of thing is going on. Does that make sense? Yes, it does.
What does my husband do? Leave it alone, bro code, or does he need to talk to the groom and put the ball back in his court?
The bro code is like, hey man, we're good. Like, yeah, you talk about him and be like, hey, I don't want like any unspoken weirdness. Like, I'm cool. It's, I'm not saying anything.
He should absolutely be like, I'm not saying anything, even though I told my wife and now we're talking about it on a podcast.
Yeah.
But like, he should.
Thousands of people.
And it doesn't go anywhere, so content will be out there forever.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we got 30 episodes up free.
Yeah, this is now a classic episode.
This is at least 8 months. 8 months accessible.
So I mean that's crazy. But I guess he's got to. I would say something if I was the guy who, because I think you already did what you thought was the noble thing and pulled the guy off and said, "Come on, let's go." So you don't owe him anything else anymore.
No.
But I think you should just be like, listen, man, whatever the fuck. Like, I feel like if that was ever going to happen anywhere, the fact that it happened at a bachelor party is like...
It's almost hack.
Yeah.
And also it's like, he made out with this chick drunkenly. It's not like they were doing blow in the hotel before, being like, I'm going to fuck some chick tonight, dude.
Right.
I'm going to get so sketchy at this bar.
Yeah.
Like, that's a completely different story. So if this did, like, it doesn't change the character of this guy.
Yeah.
It's just like, whatever. It happened on a bachelor party. Just be like, we're good.
And that's the weird thing, too, about the stereotype of bachelor parties, that, like, the groom... I feel like that's a running stereotype, isn't it? That, like, the groom...
I've never been to one where the groom is cheated.
Right? But
Never.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But that's the stereotype, which is such a funny thing, that it's like... So you're saying that I'm going to go with all of my close... Like, 10 of my friends...
And probably your brother-in-law.
Yeah.
Like, they're invited along. Sometimes the dad.
You go with 10 of your friends, and I know some of your family members that I was forced to bring along, and and I'm just going to hope that all of them keep a lifelong secret and want to hurt you. We all conspire to hurt you forever?
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to do it, you got to have, like, a tight-knit militia that goes into the woods of the Poconos and orders some Pennsylvania ass.
Ladies, if you ever see a two-man bachelor party or three-man bachelor party, then you should worry. That's bad. Anything under
then you
4.
might not leave alive.
Yeah.
like solidly may not leave alive.
Right.
They're willing to keep some tight secrets.
Yeah. 100%. Man, that's so weird, though.
Yeah. No, I think he's fine.
I think you're good, though. I think that, again, with women, would be a much more complicated situation.
Yeah.
It'd be like, because I've been, Erica's been having a lot of housewives on, so I've been absorbing all of their conflicts in the background. If there's one thing women love to do, it's eventually talk about all of their issues.
Yes.
No matter how small.
In my world, I'm thinking like.
What are you, a woman or something?
I'm considering like that if I were her, I would think about how close I am with this girl. Like if this is like a friendship, if this is just a friendship between the dudes and you know this girl through like your husband's friend or whatever, then it's one thing. But if you guys are friends and she finds out down the line that you knew about this, then it's sort of different. Maybe.
I think if you're a chick and you tell your friend, even if she is friends with her, you're a fucking loser of epic proportions.
Especially if it didn't go past just like making out at a bar. It's
different
really
if he was trolling for it. If he was trolling for it, then game on.
Like he's in the Wedding Singer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. It's like that gets real sketchy because then that's also the character of him as a private dude. Right. So you're letting somebody enter into a lifelong commitment with some fucking scumbag. That's totally different. Yeah. But this guy being a fucking idiot.
Well, that was it. Was it in Old School when the guy Luke Wilson walks in on the guy making out with the cocktail waitress?
Craig Kilborn.
But wasn't he like? Was he getting married that day or something like that? Or there was something where he like didn't tell her. And I remember watching that movie because he was like,
he was moving in with the chick.
Yeah. He's like, it's guy code or whatever the hell he said. And even watching that movie, no matter how many times I watch that scene, I'm like, oh, yeah, but I'm trying to fuck her, so fuck you. So for sure,
we're not friends in any capacity.
I'm going directly to her after I leave this bathroom.
Yeah.
Because that can only help me.
Or another friend that will.
Yeah, and the fact that he, like, I feel like if later on when they get together in the end, if she eventually finds out you knew this dude was cheating on me the whole time, then she'd be like, I don't know about you anymore.
Yeah, that's sketchy. You take the word of a strange man over me? A woman you covet?
I don't know, man. That's a big plot hole in Old School. Someone fix it. Fix it up, Buttercup. I thought that was pretty great.
Your tagline.
I didn't know it was until I just said it. Now it's the only thing it's my hey now.
We need to get you a whistle to wear around your neck.
Can we get one before the end of the show? Is there not a whistle here for something that's happened?
Gotta be.
There's bells. There's bells and whistles. Come on. All right, hit me.
Has it become clear that neither of us have another story?
Oh, really? You're reading your notes. That's why I said hit me.
I'm looking for dear life, but I mean, this is like the second podcast this week that I've ruined. I mean, Bobby called Bobby.
I'm looking for dear life.
Bobby Kelly, I did YKWd. I forget what it was. Oh, Wednesday, right? So was it yesterday? No, Tuesday. So I have the night off from stand-up. We actually filmed watch-alongs for Patreon the whole day, and then I thought we had another block of recording, but it turns out we didn't. And then I told you guys that I was doing YKWd, then went home. And I don't know if your brain has ever done this where it just switches everything up, where it's like, oh, everything was canceled.
Right.
So I don't have that first thing at 6:30, so that means the whole rest of the evening has been wiped off the slate.
Yes.
So I just didn't think about it. Nicole went to dinner with her friend, so I was like, this is great. I have the night to myself, gonna play some PGA, have a good time, and I took no less than 100 milligrams of THC.
Sure.
Which is fine if I'm just laying there strapped to my bed.
Yeah.
And then I get a Google alert from Gmail that's like, Bobby Kelly sends you the link to do his podcast at 9 p.m. And I'm like, oh, fuck, that's right. I completely forgot. And that's in a half hour. So right when it started, I was like starting to get like tickled.
Yeah.
And I was just like, almost like
turned
moving.
into bashful.
Yeah. Like I'm like my legs are dangling off a bench and I'm kicking them forward. I know you can't see them on the camera, but I wish you could.
I hear it sounds like you're kicking your chair hard.
I hit my shin a couple times. It wasn't worth it, but
for the act out no one could see.
Yeah, so I'm doing YKWd, and Column is also on it, Turl, and we're having a good time, but it comes out like we're starting a little slow, and it's a little, I don't know if Bobby came prepared with any topics, or if my energy was throwing it off, or if I was imagining everything. I have no idea really what's going on, but we're doing good. We get into a lather. Voss shows up because Bobby sent him the link and said forever invitation. So he comes in, half his equipment's working. He's like spitting at his computer nonstop. It's hilarious. Him and Colum we like go off on a really fun tangent about the Oscars, and I'm noticing, I'm like, as I'm building with my words, that I'm getting high, and I'm starting to interrupt a little bit. So I like pull back, and then Colum and Voss get into an argument, and I just hid behind my microphone for a while, for like 20 minutes, like just hid literally behind the microphone. Yeah. And that was so crazy. Only I saw that. I knew you were looking at me, and all right, forget it. So I'm hiding behind my microphone, and Bobby's like, "You're ruining the podcast." He's like, "What are you doing, dude?" And I'm like, "Oh, I don't want to get involved in this." So I was like, Column's yelling at Voss about, forget the old days. Nobody gives a shit. Nobody remembers anyway. It was hilarious. And then, whose side am I going to take?
Yeah.
If I take his, then Voss, he comes at me with the power, with the, fire of 1,000 suns. Yeah. And then, if I take Voss, it's like, what am I ganging up on Colum? So I literally hid. And then the next day, did
it resolve, or are they still like not in a good place?
I think it was fine. Colum definitely signed off the StreamYard pretty quick.
Wow. Because what was Voss's rebuttal to being like, you're an old dinosaur and you just live the old days?
Well, then the funniest thing happened where...
Just play the podcast.
Bobby and Voss did this thing where they just like trashed Colum for like 5 uninterrupted minutes. But the trashing was built on a misunderstanding. So they actually perceived something wrong, which I was there as an objective observer, and were trashing Colum, and they were being so funny that like every time, but Colum was like, "God, you're wrong," and they're like, "Shut up!" Like he just couldn't get a word in edgewise, because any correction of the thing would deviate from the comedy of the smashing, and it was just like this perfect storm of frustration and hilarity that I was just grateful to be an audience member, to be honest. And then the next day, Bobby called me and just was like, "You ruined my show."
He said that?
He goes, "You were so basted." It's like, usually you're jumping in, you're taking control, you're doing your thing, and then last night you're sitting there. You're just
wow.
I was like, I don't know what to tell you, man. I had a really great time. Please invite me more.
You just take your drugs and flush them down the toilet?
No. I was like, I'm going to put a fucking edible in your coffee. I can't wait. I'm going to make Bobby relapse.
Oh my God. Can you imagine dosing Bobby?
He would be so fun. He would never bully anybody again. He'd completely get the ills of his ways.
I picture him laughing like in a giggly way, like one of those like cute pandas.
Oh my God, yes.
Like when they're sitting up.
He'd be like the beluga whale that crew met at the Mystic Seaport, just like rubbing its head against the window, making connections with fellow humans. Like, not the one that's smashing into the side of a boat trying to tip it.
Yeah, but Angry Bobby's like sharp. Okay.
Wow, we were almost lucky enough to hear Harrington's picks.
I think that if you look at their fight history,
one
there's
has
a strong belief that the jab is really a counterpunch, if you think about it.
Izzy's toe just wasn't what it was in training camp. He really beat it up, so hopefully heading in, he can really shift his body weight and make some high kicks.
That rotator cuff was a real downfall that none of us saw coming, but here we are.
As a professional fighter myself, I did fight on a floating piece of wood with another man. I just think he has to go in there with the right mindset, and then eventually success is bound to run into him.
So, that's what we think. We are.
When I was part of the bare knuckle hobo fights on ESPN 68, I found that going in there hungry and not with a belly full of baked beans was the best direction to head in.
Did I talk about
the belly full of baked beans? I mean,
did I talk about the plot hole I found in Spider-Man?
Spider-Man?
The major plot hole, I feel like, that has never been addressed in Spider-Man?
No.
And I'm going purely off the Tobey Maguire Spider-Mans. I never read the comic books. I've never watched any other Spider-Man, except Into the Spider-Verse. But I'm pretty sure every version of the story plays out with Peter Parker getting bit by a spider, and then the next thing that happens is he starts getting really sick, and he is freaking out, and he runs home and goes to bed, and then when he wakes up, he's starting to all of a sudden be jacked and all this other stuff. But when he goes home, he goes past the grandparent or his aunt and uncle, and they're like, "Are you okay?" And he's like, I'm fine, because he has like full flu symptoms, and then goes to bed. What child is hiding that they're sick from family? Like, if I had a headache, I didn't go to school. You know what I mean? Like, I would always use that as an excuse. What child could be like, I can't, if you're an adult, you're like, I have the flu, you'd still tell people about it.
Right.
Because you want to get better and you don't want to infect other people. But even if he doesn't think about it from that perspective, it's like, how do I get better? He's a kid. He doesn't know how to administer drugs to make him feel, the guy's got flu symptoms.
But not every girl who gets her period immediately tells her parents. You know what I mean?
But this isn't a puberty thing. This is,
Was that a good point, Belle?
That was somebody who I guess isn't around the year 2008 because they still have a ringtone on.
That's cool that you have a Nokia.
We are a vibrate nation since Obama has been in office. What are you talking about? What are you doing with a ringer? But I think, but that does seem like a thing, right? Because he kept it inside and didn't tell the parents. Why wouldn't you? Did she even ask?
I just think he thought it was like kind of puberty things. He didn't think it was the flu. I think he thought he was like, get it, like it hurts to grow pubes and that's normal.
Does he see the spider that bites him? Because if you
well, that's the other thing. Yes, he does see it.
If you saw the spider that bit you, you'd be like, "Fuck, I'm probably gonna die. This might have been a really poisonous spider." Like you'd immediately tell
That's
somebody.
actually my main point. Is that
one Alex made?
Yeah, I meant to make it and forgot.
Yeah,
but
adopt a highway, adopt an opinion.
The spider bite is like if I went ow, I would tell everyone hey guys, a spider just bit me. A spider just bit me. It's blowing up, and I'm feeling sick from it.
Yeah.
A spider's bit me. I would tell everyone.
The more you're talking about this, the more I realize I would both brag and complain in equal measure and just get as much sympathy and courage from
attention.
Attention. Yeah, courage.
Courage.
What am I, the cowardly lion? No, but yeah.
You could make that a drop. I just don't get it. I think it's a major plot hole that's never been addressed. I understand why the writers did it, because he's got to keep his identity a secret. It makes sense to the story.
Don't you think Aunt May realizes that Peter Parker became like a hot piece of ass overnight?
That's what I'm saying.
He's this
no one in the
squirmy little
family-
AIDS Feeney, and then all of a sudden he's like a jacked 8-pack
Regular
wrestler.
Feeney?
Apex Feeney?
Yeah. Oh, that's fun to picture. Be in one of those
Feeney.
fucking metal suits controlling
definitely
the arms.
not with a mustache. I wish. Did you have the camera on him? Because when he's doing Frank the Tank in that outfit with that mustache, man, there is no stopping the memes.
So,
I just did a gig for people experiencing the worst day of their life.
Oh.
Yeah, I did a Detox show. Have you ever done one of those?
No.
So our friend,
I've done the NA shows or the AA shows.
I've done those also.
Yeah,
I've also
done
I've done homeless shelter shows, which those can go either way.
I can only see them going one way.
Yeah, I got barked at the last homeless shelter show I did, and I was like, I think I'm out of Rough Riders.
Like DMX bark?
Yeah, but more like Chihuahua tough. Like it was like, it wasn't like it was.
Yeah. It's fun too. Uh-oh, too many. Let's go into the story, though. What was it?
There's no real story to it, to be perfectly honest. I just wanted to bring up something that maybe you had a question about. But yeah,
I did. And the question is, what's the story?
It was me and the other comic who
Was it
has
Zoom?
No, it's live in the place. And I gotta say, this fucking facility was beautiful. Like I went in there not knowing what to expect in a rehab detox place.
Yeah.
But we went up and there's like every snack you could possibly imagine, sodas, like water, every drink besides booze that you could possibly ever want. They had like PS4, a flat screen TV, every single movie, all this stuff. And it's like detox for rich people, I guess, or detox for some, well-privileged human being. But it was kind of a weird gig because it's no mic. There's 5 of them. We're in their living room, and it kind of turns. It's like the best thing that can happen is just having a conversation. So like I started doing like kind of jokes, but mostly like built off of some topics that Robbie had success with. Robbie Slowick. I don't know why I'm not saying his name. It was great. It was so fun, especially to do it with him. But he went up and did great, but it's like 5 people. So you're kind of having half conversation, half jokes,
yeah,
bringing up stuff. We're mostly distracting them for like 45 minutes, you know,
Yeah,
because they're like
what
leaping out of their
comedy is.
skin.
That's what all stand-up comedy
Right,
is.
but this even more so because they're like their skeleton is trying to take a walk and their skin wants to stay put.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that was pretty. that was kind of good. Huh?
I like it.
All right, thank you. I didn't know by the sound. What's happening?
Alex was so low in her chair. She was like a senior in high school just waiting to get back in her new car.
She
was
could
like
not
literally,
care less
at
about
one point
this
she was
show.
like this. And then she tried to laugh. She went, ha.
It wouldn't even reach the mic, and then at the end she was like, that's why.
Yeah.
That's why you could only hear the queef part of her laugh.
Yeah, because she's just thinking about her podcast. She's trying to conserve energy so she can be on be a host.
This is why.
When she was producing Bye Guys, she's like, you guys want drops? What do you want? We're cooking. Here's donuts.
Yeah,
Let's
here's
have a
your
good
own
time."
personal iPad. And by the way, all the funniest things you've ever said that I made sure to laugh hard at.
The other way, I was slouched in my chair for that show too.
All the years of me having to be like, hit the drop, just for your sake. What did you think?
Fumbling every. That was just as good.
What did you think that would be easier for everybody?
Yeah.
Anyway.
That's when you want to make your Irish goodbye.
Hey everyone, before you go, if you enjoy this podcast, you might enjoy some of the other podcasts available at gasdigitalnetwork.com. This week, we're highlighting The Josta Show with host, lead singer from the band Hatebreed, Jamie Josta.
You can find the full catalog of episodes on demand at gasdigitalnetwork.com or catch the latest 20 episodes anywhere you find podcasts. Here's a clip.
I had a great time hanging out with Jimmy Bauer once when I met him, and we got fucking handcuffed and sat on a curb outside of a bar together. That was great.
Why?
He was like talking to some girl. He came to an Eaton show. I've never met him, by the way. He's like in the back room, just like being Jimmy Bauer-ish. He's like, let's go to a bar. Me and you, let's fuck go to a bar. I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna miss the opportunity to go to a bar, Jimmy Bauer. So we walk to this bar like near the venue. He gets fucking hammered, starts hitting on a girl. The girl's boyfriend like kind of steps in. Jimmy Bauer says something to her, like super offensive. She slaps him, his fake teeth come out, and she fucking steps on him. So he like goes fucking full like raging mad and starts just like pushing the boyfriend and like just screaming. And so they called the cops, and me and Jimmy Bauer got handcuffed and sat outside, and then they just let us go. But I never saw him again either.
Oh my God. That's incredible.